Everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Asmita and this is Asmita's Day. So for those of you who know me and who have followed me, I have been a little AWOL from this channel because other things came up and I was very busy and it just went on the back burner. But I'm back now and I'm very excited because when I used to make these reviews and videos, I used to read more books. So my coming back has 2 points. I want to start making videos again, but also I want to start reading more books, and hopefully I can achieve that target because at the starting of this year I wanted to read 30 books, and so far I've only read one book, which is this book by Haruki Murakami, which is called Kafka on the Shore. This book starts with the chapter relating to Kafka Tamura, who's a 15-year-old boy who runs away from home because his father put a Odiphial curse on him that he will sleep with his sister and his mother and also murder his father. So he just runs away from home to kind of run away from his fate or this prophecy. He does not want it to come, true. And he has been living with his father since he was a kid, but his mom left when he was very little, and she left with his sister, so he actually does not know what his mom looks like and what his sister looks like. So that is going to be a major plot twist kind of a thing in this book. So when he runs away from home, he makes all these arrangements. He tries to gain a lot of muscle and look more old so that people don't recognize him straight away. He starts saving money. So in the beginning, the chapter named Boy Named Crow, um, he talks to this entity who is the boy named Crow, and I am not that good into metaphors, so I don't know what it means. I'm still trying to figure it out. It's been a month since I stopped reading this book, and I haven't figured it out. But if I do, I'll let you know. So he has this, a lot of conversations with this boy named Crow, and this boy named Crow just answers in this weird, vague monologues. Kafka runs away from home. He meets new people, and he meets this girl named Sakura, and they meet in a bus, and then she offers that he can stay with her, and he does stay with her, and things happen, and then he gets up in the morning and leaves, and he finally arrives at his destination where he would live and have all his experiences in for the rest of the book. So he takes a train and he reaches Kamura Library, which is a very quiet, private owned library. And the owner of the library is Miss Saiki. So she's very aloof and she's very silent, but she's very beautiful. So then he lives at this library, and he lives there, he reads, he um, translates stuff, and he looks at art, and he spends all his day like that. And this is where he starts developing this friendship with Oshima, and it becomes a very close friendship to the point where when police starts investigating a murder of a person, which is his father, spoiler alert, Oshima goes out of his way to make sure that he does not get caught, because he believes him, even without evidence, even without him asking him to. He just believes that he did not do it. And he also starts getting attracted to Miss Saiki, which is kind of weird, but if you read the book, you'll get it, because this book just transcends reality and space and time and everything. So it makes much more sense when you read the book. Leading plotline follows Mr. Nakata, who's an illiterate man. And so, when we start talking about his story, the first scene that is set is in this school, which is near woods, and these kids go to the woods and they all fall unconscious. And as soon as they wake up, all of them are fine, but one of the kid cannot remember how to speak and how to read, and he just forgets everything. So that is a very peculiar thing which is not explained why that happens, but that happens. And I think that is Mr. Nakata. So Mr. Nakata is he lives in Nanako ward for most of his life, and he can talk to cats, which is okay. So he's kind of like a private investigator for cats, and if somebody's cat runs away or they cannot find their cat, they contact him and he talks to the cats and finds out where the cat is. So this is where he actually gets to the path to where his fate was supposed to take him. So this is how he meets Johnny Walker. And Johnny Walker is a person who makes flutes out of cats' souls. Exactly, it does not make a lot of sense, but that is how this book is themed. And he kills him, and then he runs away, and then he meets Hoshino, who is a truck driver, and then they have this uncanny friendship and attachment, and Hoshino gets very attached to him and kind of starts seeing him as his grandfather. And how Kafka and Mr. Nakata don't know each other, but they just come together in that circle of life, in that circle of fate. Like whatever he's doing is affecting him, and it is a very, very beautiful story. And there's also a lot of mention of cool music and art. They have mentioned Beethoven, and I have been obsessed with the Archduke Trio. I listened to that as soon as it was mentioned here. Hoshino listens to it. I just listened to it. Whenever I picked this book up, I was like, okay, so I'm going to read this book, but I'm also going to listen to this music as I'm reading this book. It is amazing, and it deals with a lot of things, and it just flows very beautifully. Everything feels like it also shows that no matter how much you want to run away from your fate and how much you want to change the course of your life, sometimes fate is just that, like things are gonna happen to you. And also how sometimes you can self-fulfill yourself. You are enough for yourself, and you can make a decision to maybe change the course of the path that you've been sent on. It is an amazingly written book. So at the end of the book, there's this dialogue that happens that I really like, and the boy named Crow says, "You did the right thing. You did what was best. No one else could have done as well as you did. After all, you're the genuine article, the toughest 15-year-old boy in the world. But I still don't know anything about life," Kafka protests. So Crow says, "Look at the painting and listen to the wind." And Kafka nods. "I know you can do it." And then he says, "You'd better get some sleep. When you wake up, you'll be part of a brand new world." Eventually, Kafka falls asleep, and when he wakes up, it is true. He is part of a brand new world. This book is so nice. It is like a dream. Like, I have never read anything like this book before in my life, and I am so happy that even though it took me 4 months, which I'm not proud of, I just jumped from reading books to just into the deep ocean of Netflix. But I'm so grateful that even if I read this book in 4 months, it was just totally worth it. So I would recommend you all also try reading this book, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.